How we doing, guys? See folks here. First off, I want to say thanks for watching the video. This bike, when I got it, was seized up, and if it wasn't for the guys that do the ton and cafe racers, there's no way I could have even gotten this thing turned over once. Those formalities being aside, let's get started. As you may remember, as I wrote in the post, my engine, when I attempt to turn it over manually, either through the alternator or when I attempt to kickstart it, is very, very difficult. And I think that has a lot to do with why my engine will not idle correctly at 800 RPMs. Pretty much once it warms up, even if I keep it at 1,000 RPMs, it wants to die. And when it dies near instantly. It doesn't struggle at all, just kills itself. I took over the points cover and everything that goes along with that. And I loosened up all the valves, so they're all loose right now. And I was hoping that would perhaps alleviate some of the toughness in taking it to turn over, and it has not. One other thing I should add is that I recently rebuilt the top end of the engine after my two bolts holding the cam sprocket to the camshaft split. It was unfortunate because the bike could never run better than it was running with than it was. So that being said, I rebuilt the top end of the engine. Everything is timed perfectly to spec. And I'll point that out here later on. But that being said, I'll get the engine rotating and I'll show you what I'm kind of experiencing within the resistance and the noise. Coming up here on top, top dead center on the left compression, and it's on a compression stroke. Both those are loose. As I rotate it around, you'll be able to hear it squeak. See, it sounds like there's almost a little bird in there. And now we're at right, top dead center. Rotating around again. Pretty difficult. Coming up on left, which I think would be an exhaust stroke. Nope, if it was an exhaust stroke, that'd be loose. But as you can see, it's quite difficult. I'm struggling a little bit with it. Also hear the bird that's in there. And we're done with that stroke. So continue around. It's a lot easier when it's at this point. You can even tell the engine wants to shoot itself. It doesn't want to shoot itself when it's at this point though. Again, right top dead center, rotating around. Very difficult. And here's proof that it's perfectly timed. I have the LT mark right here, marked on that, and I have the nub up here. If you guys can see that on the video, on the camshaft. So a couple things I'm thinking that could be leading to that squeaking. A, it could be the valves, a possibility. I'm not too sure though. It's really kind of hard to zero in with the sound. Next, I think it could perhaps be a bent camshaft. I don't know if that's even possible, but when the two bolts backed out of the cam sprocket when the engine ate itself up, I ruined two rocker arms, and that I felt that could, perhaps have done some other damage. Lastly, I think it maybe could be the side covers. Something that I ran into is I picked up two rocker arms at a salvage yard, and the guy gave me the wrong rocker arms. They looked near identical, but they came from a different year, and the angle was different. And it took some time for me to figure that out. Again, only figured out thanks to some helpful notes on Do the Ton. Anyway, if you guys have any input, I'd be more than happy to take it. Beyond that, guys, thanks very much for watching the video. Greatly appreciated. Take care and keep the rubber side down.